Shalom. This video is a reflection on the question of the movement to boost self-esteem. There's this whole sense in the culture that kids don't have enough self-esteem. We have to boost their self-esteem. Everybody's a winner. Tell them all they're great. Not be as tough on them. And the question is, does that really do the thing that's intended to be done in trying to boost their self-confidence and a sense of self-worth? Now, we have a sense in Judaism of first self-worth and the idea that human beings are made in God's image, B'Tselem Elohim, that God makes every human being worthy of having God's spirit, that every human being has God's spirit. But that's different than this artificial sense of self-esteem, and I wanted to give some reflections upon it in Judaism. So instead of self-esteem, the way to get to that goal is a different direction, a different highway. First, we have a sense of self-reliance. People should be taught to, in some way, be self-reliant, not expect others to do things for them. And that you have the famous Hillel sentence from Pirkei Avot, Im ein ani li mi li, if I am not for myself, who will be? Now that's tempered, of course, by Hillel saying, Im ani rak la'atzmi ma ani, if I'm only for myself, what am I? But that's a sense not that I should depend on others, but that I should be a giver and not a taker. That I have to be contributing to the world. If I'm only for myself, I'm nothing. And so, instead of self-esteem in that regard, we have a sense of self-reliance and a notion that we have to be givers in the world and not just takers. Secondly, we have a sense of self-control. You know, there's a very powerful passage in the Mishnah in Pirkei Avot that asks the question rhetorically, first of all, who's rich? Now, if you say who's rich, and most people would say, well, somebody with a lot of things, excuse me, a lot of money in their bank account. Well, that's not what Pirkei Avot says. Miyashir, it says, B'samech bechalko, somebody who is content with their portion. A sense of self-satisfaction, a sense of shleimut inside, of being fulfilled, if you're content with what you've got. Then it says, who is honored? Now, in the contemporary society, it'd say who's honored? Well, the person that's got their name on the most buildings, somebody who is being honored by all these testimonial dinners. That's not what the wisdom of our ancestors said. The one who is honored is the one who honors other people. Again, it's being a giver and not a taker. Then who is strong? Well, say who's strong? Oh, a guy who wins a muscle contest, a weightlifting contest, somebody who endures a lot. You know what the Mishnah says there? The person who is strong is the person who conquers his inclinations, who is control, a master of his domain, as the comedian Seinfeld would say. A sense of self-control, that even though God gave us urges and mammalian tendencies which are very proper to enjoy, the halakha controls them and curbs them and gives them guidance, and somebody who is in control of that person has a sense of strength and courage and dignity. And finally, who is wise? Michacham halomein mikol echad, the person who learns from everybody. That we have to understand that we're not the total source and font of all wisdom, and that we get wisdom from other people. That is somebody who's truly wise. And so instead of self-esteem, the way to get there, to achieve a sense of self-confidence, is to understand first self-reliance, im ein ani li mi li, to be a giver and not a taker, to exercise self-control, to be in control of your inclinations, a sense of self-evaluation. You know, we're coming, when I'm recording this now, we're in the summer, we're moving towards the high holidays, which is the clearest point in the Jewish year of a sense of looking at our own lives and of evaluating that and of trying to improve. Our prayers every day says, please forgive me for the transgressions I've committed. But we have a general sense, especially in Elul and in Tishrei, of self-evaluation, repentance, and reflection, a sense of self-awareness. And I think the wisdom of our ancestors of Judaism is saying that if you really want to get to self-esteem, you get there through self-reliance, self-control, self-evaluation, self-awareness. And then an understanding that true wealth is being satisfied with your portions, that truly being honored as the one who honors other people, that a real gibor, a courageous hero, is a person who honors others and is in control of their self. And somebody who's wise is somebody who continually learns from everybody else and knows that they're not the font of all wisdom, that wisdom comes from God. I hope that is an interesting take on the whole question of self-esteem.